Hi guys, it's your island girl and I'm back with another reaction video for you today. Okay. Today we are reacting to why Europe doesn't build skyscrapers. Alright? Skyscrapers. Alright? So we're about to dive into this video. If you're new to my channel and it's your first time here, come on in. Right back, put a smile on your face and enjoy this reaction with your island girl. Don't forget to go into the comment section and tell me what you'd like me to react to next because it will be done. Okay, guys? Just want to say thank you guys so much for sending your well wishes. My kiddos and I are feeling much better, so your girl is getting back into the swing of things. So thank you so much for those warm sentiments. We're going to get right into this videos. Now, this girl is afraid of heights. I love speed, but I'm afraid of heights. Just to let you know. So let's see what this video is all about because I'm intrigued. Here we go.
Why aren't there many skyscrapers in Europe? Despite being one of the most developed, densely populated and economically prosperous continents,
That is
Europe has
pretty.
surprisingly few skyscrapers, particularly when compared to Asia and North America.
Okay, there are skyscrapers
Of the
there.
218 skyscrapers constructed on the continent to date,
Oh, wow.
66% of them are located in just 5 cities: London, Paris, Frankfurt, Moscow, and Istanbul.
Now, you all, I know we just started. That scenery right there was beautiful. London, Paris, Moscow. It's beautiful. I ain't gonna lie. It's beautiful. Oh man, I want to travel this world.
So why have other major European cities not embraced the skyscraper?
Okay.
How do they thrive without the significant inner urban space and floor areas that these clever structures provide? And is everything about to change in our increasingly urbanized world?
Let's find out why Europe doesn't build skyscrapers.
When skyscrapers first rose to prominence in the 19th century, first in Chicago and later in New York, many European cities were already firmly established, with grand historic buildings and public spaces that left little room for large new structures.
Okay, that's understandable.
Most of Europe's cities around that time were also more evenly zoned, and were not facing the high demand for floor space in key districts that typically drives high-rise development.
Oh.
Additionally, as the power and influence of North America began to grow, a cultural rivalry emerged between Americans who saw Europe's class system as outdated and Europeans who saw some American ideals as eroding traditions and the European way of life. As a result, each continent became wary of adopting the other's concepts. While North America aims to become the model for a new age, Europe sought to preserve its heritage. While this explains...
How crazy is that? One's trying to preserve, one's trying to make change. So with doing that, they both have different structure. I'm telling you, the mind is something. The way people think is just something. Let's continue.
While this explains why skyscraper construction didn't initially catch on in Europe, it doesn't explain what has held the continent back since.
Oh, post-war rebuild. Okay.
In the wake of the Second World War, many thought European cities would modernize and replicate the skyscrapers that were rising across North America.
Okay.
However, in Western Europe, where many cities lost landmark and historic structures, an overwhelming desire to restore what had been destroyed took hold.
Oh.
In addition, the lower population of Europe at that time meant that the demand for floor area that principally drives skyscraper construction wasn't there. As a result, modest structures replaced buildings that could not be saved or restored.
Okay.
Meanwhile, in Eastern Europe, the expanding Soviet Union's rebuild effort consisted largely of mid-rise repetitive structures that sought to rehouse much of the population.
That's understandable.
It was during this time that Europe saw its first skyscrapers begin to
Look at that
rise.
beauty.
Not in response to growth and prosperity, but in an effort by the Soviets to indicate their power and influence.
So basically they didn't, from my understanding, So they didn't build new structure. They tried to save historical sites and just rebuild what they had. So that's why there's not much skyscrapers, which is I can understand that.
Brussels has never constructed a true skyscraper. It is partly responsible for the lack of skyscrapers across the continent.
Oh.
Without any significant zoning regulations in place, the 1960s saw many buildings in the city demolished to make way for large, modern structures that had little regard for architectural or cultural value. Recognising the damage this indiscriminate redevelopment was doing to the city, many prominent figures and architects coined the term Brusselisation and lobbied to introduce new planning laws. These regulations significantly limited the scale of new buildings and required historic facades to be restored and incorporated into new developments, preserving the cultural fabric of the city.
Something to pass on to their children,
The row in Brussels led to a general dislike for modern buildings across Europe, with many seeing them as bland or soulless.
Oh wow.
In response, numerous cities adopted similar regulations and set aside controlled districts, like Paris's La Défense, to keep high-rise development away from historic centres.
I always wonder why. Yes, Bum Bum? Sorry for the pause, guys. Mommy duty had to run. Okay, so let's continue. Urban age.
By the start of the 21st century, attitudes around tall buildings were softening across the continent, as architectural trends moved away from box-like structures towards more unique designs, and as the world became increasingly globalized. Since the early 2000s, major financial centres like London, Paris, Moscow, Istanbul and Frankfurt have seen several skyscrapers rise, as demand for commercial space in their centres has increased. By contrast, smaller European cities that have been experiencing more modest growth have turned their focus to the environment and improving living standards for citizens.
Now,
in recent years, urban areas in Scandinavia and Central Europe have consistently ranked among the highest in the world for sustainability, happiness and well-being, while maintaining importance within their national economy.
What?
However, skyscraper construction in the cities of today is no longer driven purely by economic growth or the need for commercial offices.
Why is it?
With 60% of the global human population set to be living in urban areas by 2030, residential skyscrapers are now rising in prominence, particularly across Asia and North America.
Interesting.
As many traditional rural-based industries become automated, millions are migrating into cities and major urban areas, driving significant demand for residential space that is often met with high-rise structures. Europe is not immune to this phenomenon, particularly in such a heavily globalized world, and with the continent's desire to keep up with the progress and economic growth of China and the US. As such, Europe could witness a skyscraper boom in the decades ahead. However, with entire urban centres now being declared historically significant, and with the desire to retain as much culture and architecture as possible rightly holding strong up to the present day, the unique challenge facing future skyscraper construction in Europe is all to do with the past. If you enjoyed this video and would like to get more from the definitive video channel for construction,
isn't that something, guys? I would never have thought of that. Oh wow. But I could understand why they didn't want to do a lot of building. You know, history, it means a lot, you know, to pass down. Yes, that was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. But as for me, I'm not a skyscraper. Like I said, I am afraid of heights. Period, point blank. I don't like heights at all. Not only guys, just think maybe 20-30 years from now what it's going to be like. You know, it's definitely going to be too crowded. No, it's okay. Let me take my little rumpins and settle where I'm at. Well, guys, yeah, it's gonna be too overcrowded and everybody pushing. Yeah, So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to go into the comment section, tell me what you'd like me to react to next, because it will be done. It's your island girl, and I'm skedaddling out of here, and I'll catch you guys in another video. Love you guys. Bye.